Hey, this is John Campbell from Lamb of God, and you're watching CMS TV.
All right, there you are. It's Ozzy Osbourne
The disparity
live.
The disparity between the Poison and the Ozzy is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Considering the Ozzy was done, what, 6 years earlier, 7 years earlier, something like that, maybe longer.
Right.
And the Poison sounds so shitty compared to that Ozzy. Oh, my God. And not just the song choice, but the actual
The production
is,
Yeah.
That Ozzy show I'd like to go to. That Poison show, I'd be walking out on that.
Well, you wouldn't go to the Poison show to begin with.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Poison live.
I know you don't.
They're not good live. But I watched a few videos of Poison on that stadium tour. Poison now better than Poison then in their heyday.
Well, obviously Bret Michaels has honed his craft as a frontman.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe he's just sort of like became more of a musician than it was just all showmanship.
Yeah. Well, and the other guys, because they're well rested because they only get to play once every 10 years.
True.
I guess they're not overtired anymore, but wow, that was what you played there. I was just cringing my way through that.
Yeah.
Oof, that was tough. So, all right, well, there we go. So I'll let you run this last one, man. This is all you.
All right. Well, since we're talking about Ozzy,
yes,
as you're well aware, Ozzy is suffering from Parkinson's disease.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a question as to whether Ozzy will ever play live again, which the wisdom is that no, but he is listed on that. What is it called?
Power Trip.
Yeah, Power Trip.
Mm-hmm.
He's listed on the bill that he will perform at Power Trip in October.
Great.
And the question is will he actually perform, or is this sort of like a hype that Ozzy will perform? I have no idea.
I'm thinking Phil Collins version.
Okay. Ozzy Osbourne has been spotted looking frail as he took a walk without a cane through leafy Los Angeles amid his battle with Parkinson's disease. The 74-year-old walked alongside his caretaker, who picked up flowers during their daytime stroll around the neighborhood, and she was making sure that the rocker was well.
See, if we're already to this, that he's walking with a caretaker.
Yeah, he's got a caretaker.
I mean, come on. Retire. Sharon, let this man retire.
Right.
I mean, for God's sakes. The man's made his money.
Yeah. How many millions of dollars do you think Ozzy has made between Black Sabbath and his solo career?
I think 1,000 million. I think 1 billion.
Yeah.
He's definitely, I mean, he has been part of generating at least $1 billion.
He's been involved. I won't say a music icon, but he's been involved in the music business since the late 60s.
Is that Steve Perry?
Looks a little bit like him.
Whew.
He's 72.
Yeah.
My dad has just turned 94 and he looks younger than Ozzy.
Well, your dad didn't do fucking. Your dad didn't snort ants for God's sake.
I understand that, but my point is that Ozzy is 72.
Yeah, and he's starting to get that estrogen look in him.
Yeah, he's got the heavy cheeks and the the heavy facial thing going on there.
And I don't want to crush Ozzy for that. Look, he's 70 years old. He's been through fucking major hell.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has done God knows how many drugs, alcohol, hard living, life on the road, dealing with Sharon.
Yeah. Jim said 774 or 74 million. That can't be right. He's made more than $74 million. I have a hard time believing that that's all he's worth, too. Ozzy Osbourne net worth.
I'm not asking what his net worth is. I'm asking what he's generated.
But even his net worth better be more than $74 million. His net worth, according to this, $220 million. That sounds amazingly low to me.
Yeah. I'm just talking about what he's generated.
Oh, he's 74 years old. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, according to this article, he's 72.
Yeah, he lies.
Oh no, Ozzy Osbourne 74. Yeah. Okay, I'm wrong. Metalhead Ozzy took a sniff of the white and pink flower clusters together by his caretaker.
I don't want to hear these stories about Ozzy.
I mean, he's like an old man with a walker going into the twilight of his career, and it's like totally over.
Dude, he's literally the grandfather at the end of The Godfather playing with the kid.
Yeah, and here's the whole thing is that when you and I were in our younger years, Ozzy was the most feared person that our parents were afraid of. Ozzy was the devil, man.
Oh, yeah. I remember my mom, who I've told many a story about being very cool.
Yeah.
Was an absolute no on me going to see Ozzy.
Right, because Ozzy was going to convert you to Satanism somehow.
I had to sneak. I had to tell them, you know how I've talked about the show at the Coliseum with Ozzy and Metallica.
Right.
I remember only telling my parents that it was a Metallica show. And they were less afraid of Metallica, because if I would have said it was Ozzy, it would have been an absolute no. It would have been an absolute no. You cannot go see Ozzy.
Sure.
But because I said it was Metallica, then I was allowed to go. And then I saw Ozzy and was like, wow, that was pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like hearing these stories about him sniffing flowers. What's next? Then he walked into a cupcake shop and got a cupcake. No sugar-free cupcake.
Right.
Jesus, come on.
Let me play a clip from, this is something everyone is familiar with.
That's hilarious.
Lorraine Bracco. Karen, I'm still going out.
Can you imagine Dr. Melfi singing Crazy Train?
Right.
Oh, man.
Is Crazy Train what brought you into my office today?
Yeah. Do you bark at the moon?
Right. Well, here's something that everyone's familiar with this lawyer discussing on decline of Western civilization, the Metal Years Part 2 about the mystique of Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
The admitted lyrics, as you know, on the jacket were, make your bed, rest your head, don't you know what it's all about? Suicide is the only way out. Then I heard that there was a somewhat of a subliminal message. The first thing that we discovered is that there was a phenomenon known as hemisync. The experts told me that hemisync is a tone that results in two things. Exciting a person's understanding of what's being said and making them unable to resist what's said. Something where there was supposed to be music, in fact, was words that said, get the gun, shoot, get the gun, shoot, 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 shoot.
I'll swear on oath that I never said get the gun and shoot, shoot, shoot.
I happened to go to a concert with Ozzy Osbourne. I wanted to see it myself.
Did you?
I saw 17,000 kids there. Not a smile in the whole group. Very somber. And it's not music. I mean, an old guy like me would say, we couldn't understand. Well, I'm telling you, it's not music. It's frantic noise. And I saw 17,000 kids that raised their hands like this, which is the sign of the devil, as you know. And they said, Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy.
How many Ozzy shows have you been to in your life? 10?
At least a half a dozen.
Did you ever see a mindless, first of all, at any metal show, did you ever see an unhappy, miserable crowd?
No, people were just digging it. They were just enjoying it. And they were working out and having a good time.
Yeah, I never saw a mindless crowd. Even take Ozzy out of it. I never saw him going, Metallica, or Ozzy, or any of them. It was fun. It was always fun.
What was that video? I can't remember which band it was. It was like Twisted Sister or something. And there was like this big screen. It was like Big Brother type thing. It's like, no more rock and roll. No more rock. Remember that?
Yeah.
That music video. No more rock and roll. Yep. No more rock and roll.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that this shit caught legs like it did. I guess it was the time, and you had fucking Tipper Gore that was close to the president, so it got a little more run. What
was that other guy that put out all those audio tapes about the evils of rock and roll? What was his name?
I don't remember
Bob something.
I don't remember his name. I know this though. I went to several of those churchy things where they were, I think I've told this before on the show, but my neighbor behind us was this lady named Terry. And she was my mom's like best friend. Still, my mom and her are very good friends. They still have lunch once a month and stuff, 50 years later. And, but Terry was a hardcore churchy, like very hardcore churchy. And every time they would do these, they saw me going down the bad path.
That's why I said at the very beginning of the show, it's just like you're on the road to hell.
Yeah. And so they took me 2 different times, once with my mom and once without my mom, to these presentations. And they would pop up, literally they might as well have just gone through my collection of records at the time, because they would just pop up my records and they would like, see, this is why this one was bad.
Yeah, Blackie Lawless.
Oh, no, dude, way before that.
Twisted Sister, man.
Even before that, I'm talking about
Black
Hotel California.
Oh, yeah, because Anton Neve was in the window.
And the hair flowing down, and the sunset was like over something that was bad. And here's the lyrics: you can never leave because it's hell, and it's you can check in anytime you like, but you could never leave. That's
because they stab them with their steely knife.
That's right.
It was a Steely Dan reference.
Yeah, it was like but to them it was
Dan was a dildo, man.
Yeah. And I remember was it Chicago that had a backwards track too? Or was that just a goof?
I think that was a goof.
There was some other band that was very unlikely, but like the Eagles was very unlikely. The Eagles, was there ever a more tame band?
Well, but the thing is that the Hotel California really did depict the Church of Satan. And if you do look at the record cover, there is a face in the window in the upstairs.
Okay.
And, according to lore, it is the face of Anton Neve, who is the founder of the Church of Satan.
Okay.
And it says, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969, which means that the Church of Satan was established in the year 1969, which means that they ousted the spirit of Christ.
Yeah. But,
you know,
but the Eagles were fucking with people.
Yeah, well, I understand that. My point is that they were making a reference to all of these things in Hotel California, because the Hotel California was a place of unbridled pleasure, of sexual
Right.
deviance and alcohol and drugs, and anything goes. And Christ has no place in this, this den of iniquity.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of what they were doing with a very soft rock anthem, as it were.
Yeah, it just was ridiculous. And I just remember
it lured the unsuspecting listener in.
Yeah, sure
to
it did.
accept this, because it was just subversive messaging.
That's right.
And you're gonna burn in hell for listening to this.
And then a few years later, remember when Motley Crue just fucking blew the lid off with "Shout at the Devil"?
Shout at the devil.
And they had in their warning backwards messaging on this album. Remember all that? They just overdid it, like totally fucking with people.
Right, of course.
I can remember when I brought home the cassette from that album, and I got it from my friend Jamie. That he made me trade him a bunch of shit.
Well,
he had it down
there. Devil worshiper. I don't even know your friend Jamie, but
yeah.
And he was probably a devil worshiper.
Well, he was trying to make me a devil worshiper, so he traded me for like my Genesis and Michael Stanley for his Motley Crue tape.
Right.
And I remember bringing it home, and my dad, it would have been one thing if my mom would have seen it. My mom would have been like, whatever, who gives a fuck.
Right.
Or my mom would have looked at it. Truthfully, my mom would have looked at it. She probably would have said, throw away the fucking papers, the cassette, the fold, the gatefold or whatever that's called with cassettes.
Sure.
She would have probably told me to throw that away and just stuff like a piece of paper in there and write Motley Crue on it.
Yeah, hide it from your dad.
That's what she would have done. She would have had me hide it from my dad. But I remember my dad got it first. He's like, "What the fuck is this?"
You're being subjected to the world ideology, man.
He did not want to see all that devil horse shit on there. And he wasn't even religious. He just was like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" And I was like, yeah. But then, and it was one of those things that, that was what, 83? So I was like 13 years old.
Yeah.
So at 13, how do you tell your dad when you put the tape on and it immediately goes to this fucking demonic reading right into "Shout at the Devil"?
Right.
How do you fucking explain that to your dad that it's not devil music?
Right.
There's no coming back from it. And then all the other songs on it, "Red Hot," "Bastard," "Knock 'em Dead Kid." It's like, holy shit. That was a tough sell for my dad. That was one that I kept hidden in the closet for a while. Like if I remember right, I don't remember exactly, but I think I told my dad I threw it away, but I just kept it hidden
right
in a box in my closet. And then every once in a while I would stick it on the inside pocket of a jacket and go right out the door so he wouldn't see that that's what I was listening to.
Sure.
It was like a whole thing to listen to it.
Well, I remember, back in I think it was late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to look this up. I'm going to look it up real quick.
Okay.
It was a TV series.
Okay.
Because of the word. It was called The Bastard.
The Bastard?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Let me see if I can.
Did they rename it to something else?
No. Here it is. The Bastard TV series.
No kidding.
Yeah. The Bastard. Where to watch the stream? The Bastard. 1978.
Wow.
So, The Bastard, created by John Wilder with Andrew Stevens, Tom Bosley, Kim Cattrall.
Wow.
Buddy Epstein.
Buddy Epstein? Was he Jethro or?
No, he's
Jed.
Jed Clampett.
Jed Clampett, yeah.
This was out in 1978, but regardless of that,
yeah,
it was a TV series. It came out on TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my sisters, I wasn't so much into that because I was only 14 years old or something.
Sure.
I could give a shit.
Right.
But I remember it came out in the summer of 78.
Okay.
And my sisters, who were older than me, for whatever reason, they wanted to watch this. And my parents, they often after dinner, they would go outside and they would kind of like work in the garden or hang out on their lawn chairs or whatever.
Okay, you're right. Surely.
And so my sisters, who were doing the housework, cleaning up the dishes, clearing the table, whatever from dinner, they would turn on the TV and they would watch The Bastard. And I remember my mom walking into the house while they were watching this thing, and she just totally fucking flipped out.
Now, how did she know the name? Was it like did it have like a song like "You're watching The Bastard"?
No, she was aware that it was coming on TV for whatever reason. I don't remember, but she took the TV away for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because my sisters were watching The Bastard.
So you couldn't watch TV either because of your sisters?
I couldn't watch it either because of them.
That's funny.
So because of the content and the name of the TV show, The Bastard.
The Bastard. I do not remember this show.
It was just so verboten.
Yeah.
That we all had to suffer the consequences because of this.
Because your sisters were watching that evil show, The Bastard.
It was an evil show. It was just terrible.
It's funny.
And again, I just had to look this up because I can't even remember the timeline of this.
Yeah.
But all I remember is that none of us could watch TV because of this.
Because your sisters just wouldn't watch Mork and Mindy that night. They had to go for The Bastard.
I love the reference. Mork and Mindy. Yeah, that was exactly the same time frame.
Of course. Hey, I know my useless trivia.
I know, but here's the lineup of the people on this, and I think you're going to laugh when you hear this.
All right.
Cop Rock.
Was it better than Cop Rock? Anything was better than Cop Rock.
All right, here we go. Tom Bosley, Mr. Cunningham.
Right.
Kim Cattrall. She's in Sex and the City, and
sure.
What was that movie?
Porky's.
Mannequin.
Well, she was also in Porky's.
Yeah, she was in Porky's.
She was the moaner in Porky's.
Right. Buddy Ebsen, who was in Beverly Hillbillies.
Right.
He was Mr. Clampett. Get this. Lauren Green.
Green, Bonanza.
Bonanza. Let me see. Who else? Patricia Neal.
I don't know who she is.
She was in Waltons.
Okay.
She was in that, but she was like a actress way before the Waltons.
Right.
Let's see. Who else is... William Shatner.
William Shatner, the Shat Man.
Yeah, he was in this.
Good Lord. There's a lot of names in this thing.
Early Star Trek. Let me see. Who else was in this? I don't see anybody else who's kind of recognizable. But regardless of that was
that's a lot of recognizable people, right?
Yeah, I know. And it was a TV series.
Right.
And boy, my sisters caught hell for that. There was hell to pay, I tell you.
I'll bet there was.
But the TV got taken away for couple of weeks because they were watching The Bastard.
Because they dared to watch The Bastard.
Right, because, bastard was a bad term.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't say that word back in those days. Dude, you couldn't say anything. I remember, I don't know if I've ever told this or not, but one of the worst ass beatings I ever got from my dad was because I said the word damn. I just decided one day I was going to say damn. And I'm out riding my bike and, hanging out with all my friends. And I was like, this damn bike and this damn this and this, just damn.
Right.
And apparently one of the mothers of one of the kids fucking called my dad. And I got home and my dad was like, what have you been out there saying in the streets? And I was like, damn. And he just fucking walloped me. Wham! I mean, my dad did. I was not a kid that got hit very often. Truthfully, I would get spanked more by my mom than my dad. And it was like, she had this little pink hairbrush that she used to spank. And it was almost comical because the thing wasn't as big as a fucking water bottle.
Right.
And she would try to spank me with this hard plastic thing that didn't hurt for shit.
Sure.
But my dad, I remember that day when I said damn, and he fucking gave me a smack, open hand smack on like the back of my, like I turned so I caught it on the back of my shoulder instead of like, I guess on the back of my neck or wherever he was aiming for. I don't know what he's aiming for, maybe my head or something. You remember in the old days, your dad would smack you in the back of the head.
Dude, I got smacked in the back of my head.
Yeah.
In the middle of church.
Fuck yeah. That was just part of it.
Because we were sitting all in a row in a pew in church. And, maybe the pastor said something that we thought was funny, or one of my siblings said something that was kind of off, and you just kind of try to hold your laughter, and, you're trying not to laugh. And your dad reaches around your mom.
Yeah.
And just smacks you in the head. Like,
give you a hard shot. Yeah, right to your fucking head.
Straighten the fuck up.
Yeah. And that would be it too. If he could speak, that was the equivalent of saying straighten the fuck up, was just taking a fucking smack to the back of your head. That's exactly what that meant. And I just remember when my dad whacked me. I mean, I turned or something and he caught me on my shoulder. And I remember having his fucking handprint and a bruise on my shoulder. And it was like a whole deal. It was like a big ordeal. And I was all woo, crying like a baby. But, he was like, you don't say those goddamn words. And that was his thing. You don't say those goddamn words.
I'll never forget that one of my older sisters, some guy was interested in her.
Okay.
And she was discussing this with my mom and my mom's friends.
Yeah.
And she was just like, well, this guy likes me and he calls me and he wants to take me out and yada, yada, yada. And,
sure.
She just didn't think that she was worthy of this guy.
Okay.
Because he came from more or less an affluent family.
Okay.
And she was just like, yeah, I don't get it. Why does he like me? And, whatever. And this just comes from just conversation with people from school and whatever. And I just said, he just wants a piece. I said that out loud.
Oh.
And my mom and my mom's friend was just absolutely horrified.
Oh, I'll bet.
Because I said he just wants a piece.
Yeah. Well, that's honestly probably what he did want.
Holy shit. Did the hell rain down on me?
How dare you?
I will never forget that as long as I live.
It's hilarious.
Because I was just being honest.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was your mistake.
Like, you know what? I will never not be honest ever again.
That was your mistake. How dare you be honest?
But I'll never forget it. I can visualize that situation to this day.
Right.
like it happened yesterday. And
I'll bet.
It was just like, holy shit. It's like, what is it about those words that just made these people react so violently about it?
Well, you know what makes it even more weird now that we're old?
Yeah.
Is what you can say now. I mean, nothing that we say now. You couldn't say hell. Remember, everybody was like, oh, what the HE double hockey sticks is that all about?
Double hockey sticks.
Double hockey sticks. And that went, I would say, into the mid 80s or so.
Oh, yeah, easily.
if not longer. I mean, I started swearing like a maniac the minute I left home. I remember because I mean, swearing in my mom's house was a big deal.
Oh yeah, of course. That was the same way with me. You don't use profane language.
I remember one time my mom said something like to me, like, we got in a huge fight. It was at my grandma Evie's house. And I remember it. I remember it because it shook me to the core and I cried like a bitch again. But I was probably 15 years old or whatever. And my mom took me outside in the rain because I was acting up at my grandma Evie's house. And she took me outside and she was yelling at me and she's like, "You're just turning out to be a worthless piece of shit." And she said that. It was like the first
shit.
It was the first time I'd ever heard her swear, ever. And I just remember going, because I was so hurt that my mom fucking said that I was a worthless piece of shit.
Wow.
She was so fucking mad at me, though, and I don't remember what I did, but I had done something. I think I had made fun of my grandfather that was like fucking had a stroke and couldn't talk and couldn't walk and shit.
Wow.
And I had said something really fucked up, and she took me outside to fucking scold me.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't remember what it was, but it was something. And she's like, "You're turning out to be a worthless piece of shit." I remember just standing there crying in the rain.
Wow.
Oh, like the White Snake song. I was crying in the rain.
Did someone leave your cake out in the rain as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it little MacArthur Park?
That's right. Look at Jerry C. What the heck? Exactly.
We've lived traumatic lives, Chris.
Yeah. Maybe that's why these kids need safe spaces now, because they got to hear all these dirty words.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
Well, it amazes me when I see like parents and stuff and their 15-year-olds are like, "Why are we doing this shit?" And I'm always like, man, if I would have said that to my dad, I would have caught a knuckle fucking sandwich.
Yeah, of course, you'll get a crack up of the backside of your head. It's just like, bam.
Yeah. Even as an adult, I couldn't do that. I mean, I don't think I swore in front of my dad, like openly, just to where I just didn't care anymore, till I was probably out of the Army.
Well, I'll tell you, I've never sworn in front of my dad, ever.
Really?
Ever. Never in my life. Not once.
Do you think he'd care?
Oh, yeah.
Does he hear that? Has he ever heard you swear on this show?
I don't know that he's listened to this show. He's aware of the show, but I don't think he's ever listened.
Yeah. Yeah, because he probably wouldn't like this at all then.
No, this would not go fly. This would not go over well at all.
Wendell, why are you talking about personal things with that filthy mouthed guy?
Yeah, well, you know my sister's reaction to you.
Yeah. I believe that too.
I believe that as well.
I could see that. That was always kind of one of those things that we all tried was what, we'll spell it. I don't give an SHIT what you say.
Right.
What did you just spell? Nothing, Dad. Nothing. Yeah. No, I'd imagine your dad would hate this. Well, yeah. I mean, I certainly understand. I mean, my dad didn't like that I swore. His whole life before he passed away, he did not like that I was swearing at the end.
Right.
But it just was what it was. It's weird to me now, because my mom is now getting into that age where like the veneer of trying to be perfect is sort of edge. It's fading on the edges, so to speak. And every once in a while now, I hear my mom drop like an F-bomb or say shit or whatever, and I'm always taken aback by that stuff.
Yeah.
If I hear my mom, I'll be on the phone with my mom, and she's not a Trump guy or Trump girl, and she at one point she said something to me about during the election. She's like, "Oh, I pray to God that fucking Trump does," and I was like, "Whoa. What did you just say?" And she's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that." Like she still has it in her head that she's not supposed to say that.
Right.
But she will drop an occasional F-bomb, and it always catches me off guard. It's weird.
Well, I agree. I sent you over an article. There's a bunch of photos on there. It's like, holy shit, this is Ozzy? Really?
Oh my goodness. Come on.
This is the Prince of Darkness. This is the guy that our parents feared.
Is this darkness or retardedness?
Right.
Jesus, what is this? This picture looks like this looks like a kid looking for pennies to eat.
Right. This is the guy that our parents feared and said, he's going to take you to hell with him.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this guy is the devil. He is like evil incarnate. Look at this guy.
What the fuck? That is, whoever published that should be shot.
You know,
how can you publish that photo of Ozzy?
It's the paparazzi.
That is a bad, and of course it's probably, you see he's stepping on a crack of like a cracked sidewalk or something. So he's probably stumbling slightly because he stepped, and he's old, but he's probably stumbling slightly, and that's the photo they got of him. You sons of bitches. How could you do that to Oz?
He looks worse than Biden.
He looks terrible.
I can barely walk. Look at me. I can barely think.
That's horrible. Oh, Jesus, come on. Why are they doing this to Ozzy? Why?
Here, Ozzy, sniff these flowers.
Yeah. Take a little smell. It's wonderful. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Do you have to do that to Ozzy? Of course, we're just as bad. We're doing it too. So, I'm not enjoying seeing these photos at all.
No.
I don't like seeing Ozzy leaning up against a bush to smell a flower.
This is a Prince of Darkness.
Dear God.
Darkness.
Shun the non-walker, shun.
Shun the darkness.
Shun the darkness, walk to the light. Oh, dear Christ.
This caretaker she needs to take a little bit in her own health.
She needs to take a longer walk. Says the fat guy.
I'm less concerned about Ozzy and more about his character.
I'm more concerned about Ozzy at this point. He's walking like half his body doesn't work. Jeez, oh. These are tough to see.
Shun the non-believer.
Shun the heavy walker, Ozzy. Shun.
Holy shit.
What in the, God damn it. This just ain't supposed to happen.
No. It's the end of an era.
Oh, boy. And it needs to end. I hate to say it, but Jesus. I mean, these are brutal to see. This is not fun. This is very, very unfun to see.
It's disturbing to go, holy shit, this is what my whole life was about.
How many times did I go see this fucking guy perform? And this is the guy that you're going to see at Power Trip?
Supposedly.
Crazy.
Who are you, Bob? Who are you, Bob Dylan?
How clear is he going to sing? This guy can't even fucking walk a straight line. With his fucking flower-toting fatty. I mean, what the fuck? This is going to be brutal. Is she going to be on stage with him to make sure he doesn't fall? Jesus. Look at this. I love the Ozman, but for God's sakes, dude. And I'm more pissed off at the fucking photographer than I am at the fucking... Hey, good on him. He's been through a fuck ton of problems and he's trying. So yeah, exactly. Michael J. Osbourne. Exactly right. Fucking coming off like Michael J. Fox. Ugh. Jesus. Him and Phil Collins could do a duet. Who would win in a race between Oz and Michael J. Fox? Jesus, that's not very nice. He was shaking, snapping
his fingers.
Who would win? Parkinson's would win. Damn. These guys are more heartless than us.
I know.
I'm actually feeling bad for Ozzy here.
These are our heroes.
I mean, you show that picture. I mean, yeah, this is one of my heroes from back in the day. You know, it's like, whoa, good Lord. All right, I got to turn that off. I can't look at Ozzy like that anymore. That's just tragic. All right, are we done? That bummed me out.
Unfortunately, it's the end of an era.
Oh my God, it's over. Not the end. It's. We're looking back at the last of it. I think the last of it was that last Black Sabbath tour.
Yeah,
and that was 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Already.
Yeah, I mean that album came out in what, 13? I think.
I think so. I think you're correct.
Yeah. Well, I hope he's better, and I hope he kicks ass at Power Trip, man.
If he performs.
Oh, he'll perform.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah. Whitfield's training now for the gig.
Whitfield?
Allegedly. You don't know that story?
No.
The rumor, now Bandian told me this, was that Whitfield Crane was the Ozzy behind the script, behind the curtain for years.
Okay.
For years, Whit was the voice of Ozzy.
I wasn't aware of any of this.
Yeah. That's now Bandian told me that went on for years. I don't know that it's true or not true, but I have no reason not to believe now Bandian.
Well, yeah, the guy's always been straight.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's what he told me, was that the voice of Ozzy on the last several tours was Whit Crane.
Really?
Yeah. That's what, again, I got nothing to base it on except one guy that said he saw it happen a few times. So take that for whatever that's worth.
All right. I'm going to have to take your word for it.
Yeah. So,
all right. I have no idea. I have no proof. I'm just going to go with what our good friend Bob Nalbandian told you.
Yep.
And go with that.
And go and be done with it. There it is. I'm going to believe it.
All right.
When I see this guy fucking limping across the fucking sidewalk, yeah, I believe it.
I had no idea.
Not going to say I don't believe it. I do believe it.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here.
All right.
We're going to be back next Saturday. Our good friend Sammy Lee from the band Red Rain will be part of the show. We're going to debut a brand new Red Rain song, which has been 6 years in the making.
Yeah.
And we hope to see all of you here.
Yeah, hope so.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. And since you kind of mentioned it's almost over, I'm going to kind of close the show with Almost Over from Dokken.
All right. Works for me.
All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back next Saturday night. So until next Saturday, this is Neeley along with my good friend
Chris Egan.
And we're gone.
Bye, kids.